Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to their comic episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's the new kid? Who's the kid in school that's just a little bit different with me tonight?
Rita's sentient putty, Red Fox.
This is Joe Butler, and I vote someone else replaces me as the Blue Ranger.
That one got me a little bit, I will say. I didn't like that. So we are here, Power Rangers 5 through 8, which is the last of the books that we have to read before Shattered Grid. I've been waiting a long time.
Let's hear the excitement.
Oh, a lot of excitement. I came into this book with no anticipation for Volume 1. This is essentially just a continuation of the first 4 issues, like the same damn story, just the second half of it. Very, very much so. So Matthew is still replaced by a putty. The real Matthew is somewhere else, and the kids don't know it. It's kind of what carried over from the first book.
The kids are also going through their own personal issues, such as homecoming and college, maybe, and other real-life scenarios that are going on. Which I'm glad to see, because normally,
Me too.
normally the last series we've been reading, they've kind of thrown a lot of the it's not like a super big issue, but like normally it's kind of like human stuff's kind of, or people stuff's kind of eh. This one's a little bit more prominent, and I am glad to see that, because that is the original roots of the show, anyways.
This is better than I expected it. Like, I didn't know I wanted to see about their personal lives and what issues they're having. Trying to be superheroes.
Surprisingly, as an adult, for the first time, makes me give a shit about a teen drama.
It worked, and I didn't think it would. I didn't think it would matter to me. I'm surprised how much I actually care with this one. Really surprised me, because this book really makes you care about these characters a lot more than I feel like the other run does. In different ways.
That was more of their goal, other than introducing some elements that are going to be like key factors later on. I think they did want us to get to know them in their early years, and it works. It's actually pretty damn interesting.
Yeah, part of me kind of regrets not reading this first. Small part of me, but it's there.
I think it's fine.
Oh, yeah, no, it definitely is. But I was like, it would have been nice to have read this and then read the other stuff. But it's still very good. Like the cover, the cover of the first issue is them sitting at the juice bar and they're all looking at their what are those called? Transponders, watches.
Communicators,
thank you. And Matt's just sitting in like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, that's pretty much Matt's stance at all times pre-abduction.
Except, I don't think this is pre-abduction. I think this is post-abduction.
Yeah, it is, but, it's still, the cover is reflecting that.
Yeah. And it's the same putty from the last one, the one that looked like a woman who got mad, who's taken over, and that's the one that's impersonating Matt still. You find out in this book. This first issue opens up with something that it's a trend for these 4 issues, which I find really interesting. Like, it starts off and says, the past, a little over 10,000 years ago, and shows Rita conquering planets with her stupid putties. And,
right, yeah, that was her whole deal.
But we never really saw that.
Right.
And I didn't think I would care, but I found out I care,
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see, like, because you always have the really goofy shit of like, oh man, this character is really, really powerful, but like in the show, even with Power Rangers, it's like, oh, they just kind of bumble around the whole time. How they're terrifying. So it is nice to see like Rita like out there conquering planets and shit like that. I thought it was gonna go a different direction, because like it shows them fighting aliens and it shows like their champion or whatever, and it kind of low key looks like the Megazord. So I'm like, oh, is that where they're going with this? But they didn't. So
no, you see this Minotaur guy who gets killed in the next scene, I guess because he was betraying her to Lord Zed or something.
He's spying on her for Zed, just like Goldar ends up doing at first.
But doesn't she work for Zed?
She does. He still wants to monitor what she's doing.
I guess she doesn't approve micromanagement, huh?
A lot of us don't.
This Minotaur character, I assume, is nowhere else, right? It's just a random character they created for this.
Yeah, he's an original creation. I didn't really notice his name until I looked it up later, but it's Montour.
Oh.
I actually saw, I don't know what I looked up, and they mentioned Montour. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then he popped up. I'm like, oh, okay. Makes sense.
I don't know why I must have read it wrong, because I thought it was Minotaur. But that's probably like, oh, well, it looks close enough. Let's keep going.
It says it right there, too, as she's speaking, Montour. But, well, that's the typical Mike pronunciation.
Yes, it is. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't matter, because he's dead within a page.
No, yeah, he's pretty insignificant. He's only in this book just to show what Rita does to spies that she doesn't approve of.
I mean, this book, like, having these older stories go back really does make Rita look a lot more vicious than what we had. And I didn't expect that. So I gotta say, I was very surprised. And then it kicks back to the future. I mean, this is interesting because this is so much of the story is right after they get their powers. And I didn't think I would care about that as much as I have been becoming to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see them training with their Zords for the first time, and they're learning what the Zords can do, and Zordon's like, hey, you can, they connect with you. Like, the more you're in them, they're like a muscle. The more you'll learn them.
Yep, and this is less than 2 weeks in, too, so this is a lot to take in for them still.
Mm-hmm. But it all surprisingly works really well. Like, this is when Billy finds out that he has, he has hook chains, or horn chains.
Yep.
Which is going to play a part later in this book. But just cute little moments like that. And I didn't think that would matter to me. Like, you just get to see them training. You see Jason flip out on him. I think, does he flip out on them? No, that's later. Never mind.
It's later, yeah.
And I think they make... Yeah. I like this comment. Like, it's like, with school and our new cover jobs at the juice bar, life, Rita's not going to have to kill us. We'll just keel over from exhaustion.
Agreed.
I really appreciate that line.
Being a teenager and a superhero is hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, school is designed to... I feel like to zap away all hope. Not me, I'm joking, but like, it is designed to keep you busy. I remember in my school, we had a student principal who always said, everything is prohibited. Prohibited. He liked to say that word a lot on the loudspeaker. And it really felt like we were just there to be there because they didn't want us on the street because we lived in Milwaukee and that's what we were going to do, apparently. I just wanted to go home and play video games, but,
It's better than most places. I grew up during the No Kid Left Behind era, so every day at school was just teaching us about how to pass tests. That was fun.
I don't think we had that. I don't remember a whole lot of school. I wasn't there a lot later on. My senior year, I wasn't even there. I stopped going. I didn't go the last quarter because I pretty much graduated because I had all the credits I needed, so I stopped going. I'm like, I don't need to be here anymore, right? Like, I already have enough credits. Like, I'm just going to stop showing up.
I hate when you do that, too.
They didn't appreciate it. I still got A's. Because I did the work, I just didn't show up. I came in like 3 days a week. But you have a cute moment of them being at the cafeteria, and this is when Zach gets a invitation for homecoming from a girl, and he doesn't know who it is. Like, cute little moments here, and so much of this little run is just them being teenagers. And I didn't realize how much I would like that. What did you guys think of the whole random girl?
I don't understand how they caused me to care so goddamn much. Like, I don't know what sorcery they pulled off. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, she in her role later on is fine. Like, just as a little side one-off character. I mean, this is kind of reminiscent of the show too, because Zach has also had a love interest in the show too, outside of the team.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's nice seeing him being like this like Playboy type character, or at least a character that all the women like. Like, it's cool.
It seems fitting. I like this iteration of them. Actually, all the characters for that matter, really.
They even made me care about Bulk and Skulk in this. Or Bulk and Skull.
There you go.
I mean, that's an impressive feat. I could give a shit about them.
In here, like in Go-Go, they make them even more prominent. Like, they're still semi-forgettable in the main run, but this, like, yeah, it makes you care.
Which I didn't expect.
I like that little side story, which is funny because normally we get the really stupid, like, main plot, and then they're like, here's the weird, stupid side plot that we had someone else draw on, right? And it's like, I'm not going to read this. We never usually talk about it, but it's...
We skipped them all.
Yeah, but I like seeing them have actual plot that goes to that. At least they're becoming more likable people, because you can't have them be shitheads forever.
No, and it's nice to have them, like, they actually have a lot more purpose in this Go-Go stuff.
Well, you've got a little, I think, as far as I remember, we got a little bit of insights onto how they act or what they become in the world of the coinless. So yes. It's kind of was always in them to begin with. But even then, in the main timeline, you get to see some interesting stuff with them later on too. Stuff that you could never guess.
I'm looking forward to that. You have a small moment with Billy and his father talking about the place that we now know that, what is her name?
Grace?
Yes, where Grace works. So we have a little bit of information there where we see her business, where they're trying to recruit Billy, which they talked about in the main run. I thought that was interesting, too, to have that. I like how they send them, like, VR and other stuff, like a bunch of swag.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, half offense. I wish I was smart enough to where a school would send me free, expensive shit.
Right.
Nobody sent me free stuff. Well, I didn't want to go to college, but nobody was trying to recruit me either. I was not good enough for any of that stuff. I hated school back then, though. Like, I wanted to be done with school and just never see it again. And so far, that has happened. But yeah, I know what you mean. But it's just a cute moment. And then you have with Matt and Kim where she tries to kiss him and they get distracted, but Matt isn't. And then they remind you real quick that it isn't Matt when they show you a little putty scene.
I don't want to get too into it because we'll get to it when we get to it. But I am honestly very surprised how they handle the Matt putty situation. Like that gave me a complete left turn than what normally happens, and I'm just like, oh, that's actually pretty nice to see for one.
It made me think differently about the putties, which we'll talk about in the second half of this little book. But like, I actually cared for a putty. I mean, who the fuck you think I was gonna say something? Who you gonna say something like that? Where you actually care about a putty?
Joke's on you, Mike. That's the plot to that loser Ranger anime I keep talking about. But
pretty much, except it's pulled off better in here.
It is pulled off better in here.
It's definitely not what I expected. You know, like when we were first started reading this, I thought it was gonna be very much like, okay, you know, he's the villain, like he's gonna. But so Rita doesn't know that who the Rangers are at this point, correct? From what I was reading, it sounds like she has no idea that the fake Matt.
They had said each other's names on the moon when they first stormed it.
Okay, and she put 2 and 2 together of who's who.
And even to the point to where obviously the putty knows who they are, and she used the putty to infiltrate that group because she does know who they are.
Okay. I wasn't sure what was exactly happening here, but you see Matt in a cell there, and I like it how she turns into a fake Kim and talks to him, and he falls for it, and he's like, that ugly witch is gonna come back.
You know, I keep forgetting she has that power.
I didn't know she had it.
We get another glimpse of sinister Rita in the shadows. Oh man, it's like at least every arc they do that with her in this run.
Well, they actually make her a really powerful character and not just a fucking joke.
I love
She's
it.
a joke in the original stuff.
Nobody in this, in any run in this, any version of this, is treated like a joke for the most part. I mean, maybe kind of like maybe Squat and Babu, you know, like those couple goofy henchmen, but even then, like everything's treated with respect.
Which is kind of surprising to me. That's not what I expected when I came into this originally when you pitched it and convinced me to start reading these. Like, I did not expect
they took
any Power Rangers.
They took the shell of the characters that we were given when we were kids and actually like breathed life into them. Now this is their whole goal, and you know, interesting storylines that like conscious adults can appreciate. This is how it's done.
Did you expect that when you first started reading this book?
Somewhat, yeah, a little bit, just because of things I was seeing, like preview and stuff. But definitely not to this extent. No, not to this quality.
Completely fair.
I
did not expect it.
At most, I thought we were going to have like member berries dangling in front of us. I didn't expect to actually enjoy a full-blown Power Rangers comic.
Especially this much. Like, you know, I'm a gigantic Turtles fan, and that was fucking phenomenal for the longest, and it took a nosedive, you know, at least at a certain point. And for this, like, I can't say that. Like, this is consistent all the way through.
Which is kind of surprising me a little bit. I
just expected the same. Like something like as big as Turtles is, like their roots are in the comic world, right? So like, well, if they screwed up a part of it, you know, at least in my opinion, like, man, Power Rangers is probably at some point take a drop here and there. It never did.
That makes me happy to hear. So some of the other stuff that I want to talk about, like you have Kyle and Jason training where Kyle's actually holding his own against Jason, which I think is cool to kind of like, that's weird. Because, like, I'm assuming he couldn't fight like that before, but there's a reason he can fight now, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he couldn't fight before.
Well, not like this. I think he even says, like, you need to train me, and then this is the part where he says that Trini likes him, I think.
Yeah.
Trini likes him, and I unfortunately know that's going to play a part later because I saw covers. So I look forward to seeing where that goes, because I didn't think I'd care, but I actually care.
They'll be surprised where the character of Trini goes. Period.
Okay. I don't think I'm emotionally prepared for that.
Start caring about that character.
No, I say that because a lot of I'm not spoiling this, but for like a lot of stuff that they do for other Power Rangers media, usually in canon, Trini is dead because they don't want to do anything with the character and replace her. So
because the actress is dead.
Yeah, so like in the reunion, that the first 5 minutes is literally Trini getting hit with like a spell ball from Rita and gets blown off a fucking cliff, and they're like, "Oh, well, Trini's dead." So,
well, I'll say this: like, I don't want to confirm or deny anything like that, just because it's fun to see you guys guess anyway. But
No, it is.
what I will say is they give a ton of respect to her character and treat the legacy of not only the actress but that character with so much respect. And you'll see some developments with Jason and like Trini, and not necessarily to like where they coincide together, but just even separately, some shocking kind of character developments that you probably would never guess.
Okay.
Interesting.
The rest of
I look
them,
forward to it.
not even Zach too, for the most part. I'd say by the end of the run, you'll see so much development from these characters. It's going to shock you a bit.
So
I mean-
what you're saying is we're not getting treatment a la Justice League Power Rangers treatment.
Where they're worse than the shell of characters that we got from the show. No,
I don't think you can go worse than that comic. Okay, like I remember I was excited for it. I was like, this is garbage. Or in the meme, this is great. Like that's so. You have another. This is going to play a part later, but you have Bulk and Skull and a bunch of mean girls telling them not to be involved with the homecoming thing. You get to see a little bit more of the Zords fighting, and this is when Jason flips out at them because they're not concentrating enough, and he shows that he can like scream as the dinosaur. One thing I did appreciate with this is you actually get to see the Zords not just be the giant Zord, like they actually are working outside of that, which you never see, which I like.
yeah, it's quite rare than anything else to see them act this individually.
I mean, I know on the show it's because money.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it was cheaper to have that one scene that they filmed and play over and over again of them running and then fusing.
Yeah, it reminds me, I haven't watched it officially, but it reminds me of like the official Netflix Voltron show that we got where they actually have them fight in their own individual Voltron Zords as opposed to always just like fusing.
I should watch that someday. I think that's getting taken off Netflix too.
It is getting taken on Netflix, but I think you can buy the official series currently, so I
Or
recommend doing that.
other ways to find it, I'm sure.
Oh
It's
yeah,
actually, Joe, you said you watched it?
I know of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. I definitely haven't given it a shot though.
The last season sucks absolute ass
Oh.
because they got funding to finish the series, and they do that really dumb thing where they're like, well, the fans are really pissy because teenagers are, and so they gave like everyone the ending that they thought they want, and everyone went, oh, this ending fucking sucks, and they're like, oh, whoops, well, it's over now, have a good day.
Right. No, I probably won't check it out. And this is the end of issue 1. That I do like how the last panel is Jason holding his helmet, all upset, or taking it off. I'm not sure which one they're putting on, but everybody's upset. It shows Matt in a cell, and this is a good little ending for this.
I think they
Dramatic
realized.
ending.
I think they realized no one likes those ending comics because they're like not in any of these.
And then that brings us to issue 6. So I, as a guy who's looked at many comic book covers, I am 95% positive this is a reference to Adventures of Babysitting.
Oh, I was gonna say Batman.
I mean, maybe.
Either one can fly, I guess.
Have you seen the cover for Adventures of Babysitting before?
No.
Okay. For those listening at home, I am showing Joe the link.
Oh,
So click that Google link, and that's the cover.
would you just send it to me on?
Discord, the podcast thing. Didn't work.
Well,
I'll
no.
send it somewhere else. Don't worry, I'll clean this up.
Oh no, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be looking at. So
Oh, if you click that link, you'll see the cover of Adventures of Babysitting, which is right there as the poster of what the movie looked like on the DVD cover, where they're climbing up a wall.
I don't think he's seeing where it is
Yeah,
in chat.
yeah, I'm not seeing where it is in chat.
Okay. Check the Facebook chat.
Oh, okay. Phone is charging. Okay, yeah, you're more right than I am actually. So yeah.
That's what I think it's a reference to. Is I've seen that movie partly once and never watched the whole thing because I was depressed. But at the time, I was. Long
No,
story.
you're super right. Trini helps that situation of her holding on like that. So yeah, that's definitely what that is.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's cute that they reference that because it's I think Adventure Babysitting, 1987 movie, so close to the time when Power Rangers takes place. So yeah,
Did you notice the Zed face in Rita's palace?
I did.
Oh yeah.
Because she she used to work for Zed, and then she was locked away for all those years. So I'm assuming, I know at some point Zed comes back in this. So I'm looking forward when we get Zed.
I too look forward to when we get Zed. For other reasons though, other reasons that have been discussed with another party.
So devious.
I look forward when we get there. But how's this issue? So this issue starts with, it's a nice way to do it. They just show different panels of her conquering different planets, and each planet was sacrificing something. And then it shows how Squat joins the team. How it was his parents sacrificed him to try to spare their lives, and I'm pretty sure they got murdered afterwards.
Yeah, probably.
Because you see them getting dragged off by putties, and yeah, they're being murdered.
That was pretty hilarious. Like the mom tries to show like how smart he is, and he fails. And she's like, "Oh, I lied. He's simple like his father."
I think that's just so funny, though. And then she's like, "You're a squat little thing," and like, "Oh, that's where his name came from. It's a fat little baby."
Yes. Why hire minions when you could simply kidnap babies and raise them to be loyal minions?
Yeah, I mean, hey, now I understand how Squat joined the team. I do look forward to someday we get like an annual story or something that makes Squat, gives them more backstory. I do look forward to that someday, hopefully. But at least you have a little bit here. And then he goes back to present day, and I like how every time it always tells you, Rival Day plus 16, like last issue was Rival Day plus 12 or something. Like, they do a good job of letting you know where it's at. So I appreciate that.
Better than what most comics do.
You have a few small moments, I think, when Zach realizes who asked him out, I think, or is he still trying to figure it out? Yeah, no, he figured out. Billy figured out who it was. She spelled out her name in the words.
Yep. Violet Arias.
I like it that Billy's smart. I did laugh when you have Skull and Bolt selling Power Ranger shirts.
Illegal
He's
Power Ranger shirts.
Violating, but who owns the copyright at this point? Well, I'm guessing some corporation probably would have grabbed it immediately. You know, somebody would have.
Possible. I don't know if they would have. I mean, within 2 weeks already made some official licensed stuff.
I no official, but I could see somebody just grabbing the rights to it. But I don't know if you could grab the rights something like that.
They explain it like low key in like I think Spider-Man at sometimes where it's like because there's no official identity, you can make stuff for it, but you can't copyright it yourself. So the idea is like
free reign. Yeah,
it's free reign. So like
okay.
Like it given like our world, if Batman was real, Target can sell Batman shirts, anyone else can sell Batman shirts, but Walmart can't exclusively be like, oh, we're the only official Batman selling merchandise store. You can't do that.
So you're not gonna like my comment, Joe, and no, I don't agree with it, but that's why there's Trump stores, huh?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
No, yeah, that's exactly what it is, yeah.
Funny. Some people see him as a superhero. I see him more as Rita. So hey.
Well, see, here's the weirder part, because that doesn't fall because technically copywriting involves acknowledging your identity, which goes into like some stuff that happens in Spider-Man, where there's like Spider-Man dolls and all this other stuff, and it's like he's like, oh yeah, no, I give free reign, I don't make money off of this stuff, so it's whatever. So technically, if Trump wanted to, he could copyright all those stores, and honestly, I'm surprised he hasn't yet.
Me too. I feel I've seen some of the shit they make. I never went to those stores, but I did see them in Tennessee, not surprisingly. So
my favorite one is the ones where they like get it like spray painted on the side of their like trucks, and he's like really buff, like Rambo for some reason.
Yes, I don't understand that. Like I don't want to see any president buff half naked on any. I don't care who. I don't want to see Lincoln. I don't want to see a single president buff on somebody's car. Like I just do not. You want to draw the Hulk? I'm okay. You want to have the Hulk on your car? That's fine. Go draw the Hulk. Don't give him a president's face. That's all I ask.
You know what that does mean, though? Sadly, Mike, which is you said that you're going to sour my mood. I might sour yours.
What?
That means Target and Walmart can now officially sell Trump merchandise in general, and they can't get in trouble for it. But stores like they want to, they can sell it.
No, I'm not worried about here in Minnesota, but I could see your state doing it.
Yeah, my state definitely would do it. I'm not gonna lie.
So then you have them at a movie theater, and Kyle gets Goldar attacks the movie theater, and at the same time it has Billy in his interview for that job or the college, whatever the hell that is. When all the other Rangers go, he doesn't show up on time, and that's when they started to get really upset with him. And also Zach notices something's wrong with Matt because the putties are coming at Matt, and he yells something at them, and then they go away. They just turn around, and he sees it.
Yeah. So I really feel bad for Billy because you have them doing this fight and they're like, where the fuck is Billy? And it's like, he's probably told him about this. And so he's even like, hey, I don't want to be here. And they're like, oh, don't freak out. He's like, no, I feel like I legit don't deserve to be here, which honestly kind of sucks because I hate that for Billy.
I do too. I don't get that either.
I'm going to show you guys what the putties look like.
The putties look like a white.
Let's see here.
Let's post in the Facebook chat. That'll be easier than what I did. So when Billy teleports and Goldar then grabs him because Billy teleports right in front of Goldar, you think Alpha would have a way to tell, hey, there's an enemy right here. We'll put you on the outskirts of the scene, not right there in the battle. But maybe they don't have that technology yet.
Yeah, I think the idea is they just started teleporting recently.
Okay.
Because I remember that was the whole thing whenever they had the communicators, is they're like, why does Jason get a fucking space phone? I want a space phone. And
That's a stupid thing.
yeah, and Billy's like, oh, I'll take care of that. So yeah, assuming they're still trying to figure out how to fucking teleport, at least somewhat accurately currently.
That's fair. All right, you made that make more sense. And then you have Kyle run into Goldar with a minivan to save their life and to keep his cover. It works, though.
Like, why do you keep
I
calling him
realize
Kyle?
it. Did I call him Kyle? What's his name?
It's Matt. You said Matt, and then you went back to Kyle, and I'm
I
like,
have no idea what happened. I'm tired. I fell asleep in a movie theater today. I'm tired.
What'd you go see?
Red one.
Oh, I heard that sucked ass.
I fell asleep, so that should give you a clue right there. I don't know if I fell asleep.
That's really fucking bad.
So,
Rich, are you going to see that at any point?
he should. On streaming. It'd be nice. It's a cute movie.
I don't know. I might one eventually. I won't make it a priority.
It's a cute Christmas movie.
I feel
So.
You were sleeping. How do you know?
I only slept for the last 10 minutes, I heard.
You heard.
I asked my wife what I missed. She's like, not much, but you were kind of at the end anyway. I'm like, okay, I missed the villain get taken out, but that's it.
I both hate and fucking feel bad for The Rock. He's trying so hard to get his own fucking like series off like
anything.
Yeah, and every time it either fails or fucks up, and it's just like, Rock, just quit trying so hard. Look at Batista and fucking John Cena. They do not try, and they fucking somehow manage to fucking have their own series that they're fucking enjoying.
What is Batista on?
Well, he was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but
oh no shit.
He got 3 movies and a short, so
yeah, and he can come back whenever he wants to.
Yeah, they didn't kill off
Cena doing that whole Peacemaker stuff. That's still going.
Season 2 is coming someday.
Season 2 is coming, and I think, fuck me, what was it that got announced recently that made me laugh my ass off? They said the only thing that's not canon now in the entire Peacemaker series is the ending where they meet the Justice League. They said that's the only scene that's not canon.
Oh, okay. I get it, though. That was a good scene, though, but that's because those guys don't count anymore, so... All right. And then... when they get back to the base, you have them all get mad at Billy, and this is when Billy tells them, like, hey, I'm trying for a job. I don't know if I want to be a ranger or not. So I thought that's good. The stuff with Matt, where you have a page where Matt's in jail, and they try to feed him, but he kicks away the food, and then somehow, like, the last panel shows him looking at a fork on the ground. Also, how is he going to eat because he can't move his hand? They would have to feed him. So I was kind of confused what
maybe that was the plan.
Doing.
I mean, that looks like a job for Babu over Squat, just based on height.
Yeah.
But you might be right.
So I didn't really understand what they're like. They get so mad. I'm like, if you won't eat, like, you guys can't eat, even if he literally doesn't have use of his hands because he's chained that close to the wall.
Maybe the chains come loose?
They don't look like it in the drawings, but it's possible if they move forward. Because he does get the fork somehow, so... because a little bit later you see that he gets out.
I mean, he's a pretty fit guy. Probably took a shoe off, use his toes.
I mean, but still, what would you do with the fork? I mean, but then again, Hannibal Lecter did get out of handcuffs with a piece of a pen, so, fiction can do what fiction wants. Here's my answer. You have some cute moments again with them at the juice bar, but with fake Matt, and then he gets called by Rita. I do like this where he tells Rita he doesn't know yet who they are, I think. Or does he? No, he says he does know. Yeah, the Rangers respond well to courage and bravery, so I'm still confused if she knows who they really are or not. Like, it's hard to tell.
She sees everything he's doing.
Oh, yeah. So she would know. Because he knows pretty much.
She knows.
But plus the idea too fake Matt technically has a point, which is like, look, you need me to get these guys to trust me. I'm getting there. You can't fucking, which goes into, I'm honestly surprised what it turns into. But yeah, I at least enjoy him at least being a little bit conniving, and you show him turning into what eventually ends up happening.
Same, I think it's done well. Anytime
Rita tries to infiltrate the Rangers, like it's for somebody who's really against spies, she's got her own fucking spy going on. And it backfires every time. Look at Tommy, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Probably should stop doing that shit.
I do like when when the putty's playing football and you see him just knock out a guy.
I do want to bring up, speaking of Tommy, this scene where he's speaking to Rita here in the alley is very reminiscent of Tommy and his Green Ranger run. Evil Green Ranger.
Oh, okay.
He did the same. Well, he fought the putties and stuff, I think, or that's where they took him, actually. So maybe he didn't talk to her in an alley, but he did fight the putties, and this just kind of reminds me of that.
No, that's completely fair. So even this little part where Skull and Bulk ask out this girl and her friend, I think is cute, too. where she's like, one dance and no extracurricular activities. I like how they put that in there. So, no sex.
Or even kissing or anything.
I thought it was a cute little moment. I mean, it made me actually start to like these characters. And like, they're gonna get girlfriends. Like, that'd be good for them.
The end of this 4-chapter run makes me like everyone a lot more, honestly. So
It really does. And the end of this issue is where Billy's telling Kim that he's like, I think Matt should become the new Blue Ranger.
The love lives of either Bulk or Skull will be touched upon later on. Too. In a big way.
Words I thought I would never hear in a set.
Right. Scenes I thought I'd never see, but it will be touched on much later.
Okay. I can't believe how much you got me into Power Ranger comics, Rich.
Take me later. It's fine.
I don't understand it. So this brings us to issue 7. This is a okay cover. It has them in their nicer outfits for homecoming dance and a bunch of putties at the top of the screen. It's
man. Okay. Can't go wrong with the scene of the superheroes fighting jobbers in suits in a dance. Yeah. Typical 90s superhero thing. What's the worst thing that could happen at prom? Even though it's homecoming, but same concept.
It's the same concept, yeah. You have another 10,000 year ago part where it shows how Babu became on their team, where he was a potion maker and he turned his entire army to stone.
You see that?
You see that street chart?
Yes.
You see that Rita armor? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay, that's cool too.
That's her war armor, apparently.
Does that? Will I see that again?
We'll see something very similar in the future.
It's cool. Like, again, I like this where they're like, yeah, Rita's coming, so we ran away. And that's how she gets another person on her team. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. And then when it does go back,
evolution of Rita, it's much later on in the story.
Okay. I know we have a lot of issues to read.
I'm at least glad we didn't get, because they could have done the cheap option in this too, and I'm glad that they kind of went their own route. Because I think I told y'all I did dive a little bit into Zoo Rangers, and like the whole concept of Rita's backstory is like, I think her son was killed by the original group of Zoo Rangers, and that's why she fucking hates dinosaurs. So
okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
but remember, Zoo Ranger is too close to Jew Ranger.
Is it?
That's why he changed it. Watch the Toys That Made Us documentary. He says that it was too close to Jews, and that's why he had to change the name.
I mean people back then probably would have said that too.
Yeah. Now if it came out now, it would be woke. It was Jew Ranger. So, but yes. So I get it. But I just think it's just funny that it came out of Saban's mouth. That's what he said.
I never knew that.
You should watch the Toys That Made Us.
Oh, well, I saw that. I guess I don't remember it.
I watched it more than once, sir.
I can't wait till he dies and then we get like a really shitty documentary about him and it's like, oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I hope more Power Ranger stuff comes out, but at least you got the comics. So when he goes back to Angel Grove, you have the whole team talking with Billy where he's talking about leaving. I like where I think Jason says like he chose you. He chose you. He didn't choose Matt because they don't need Matt. They need this particular group of people because they each have their own strengths and weaknesses that complement each other. So
which I talked about earlier.
Yes. Another moment where Matt essentially takes out Jason because he's training him and he stronger than he should be. Zach does ask Violet out for honey homecoming. So I like this. Just cute little teenager stuff like when the girls are getting their hair done. I like how Trini has yellow streaks in her hair and Kimberly has pink streaks in her hair.
We are not good at hiding our secret identity, you guys. Look at Billy. He's wearing a goddamn plaid blue suit. We are awful at this.
Hey, Zach's wearing a white suit. But yeah, no. Everything, somehow their colors are always there. And then you see the real Matt escape from prison with Squat, where he grabs Squat with a fork and then forces him to take him out. I like how he's like, don't let anybody. He's like, if we'll both be in trouble if I get caught. He's
They're really gonna cut his ass eyeballs.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up too.
I do think it's interesting that the way that they're 100% sure, they're pretty much 100% sure, but it goes into like a really a fun thing that I like, where it's like, oh, a simple way, just lie about fucking stuff we've done and get him to agree with it. Like how Zach's like, hey, you remember when we were kids and you said you should wear like a suit of armor? And he's like, oh yeah, I remember that. And he runs away and he goes, Billy, I never fucking told him that when we were kids. You need to fucking keep an eye on him.
It's what you would do if you were unsure of something and it's someone you've known for so long in your life and see how they react. Like, it's smart. I mean, kind of what you have. I mean, I think that's the best way to suss out somebody like this. I can't believe I just used the word sus. I'm not okay with myself.
It's fine.
But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Again, you get to see a little bit of Kim Castle, like when the two kids go to pick, when Billy and Matt go to pick up Kim and Trini, and he's like pretty much threatens to murder them, and it's like that joke can go away now. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, oh, well, if you, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, you shouldn't be threatening somebody's kids. Like, there's other ways to do it than threatening to bury them in the backyard.
Something, maternal instincts, something.
I know, but still, like, you can be protective and not threaten to murder them. But that was also a thing in the 90s and 80s, like, and long before that, like, I got the shotgun. So, yeah, that's all. But I like seeing it. It's just, again, like I say, it's another cute moment when they all go to homecoming and you see them taking pictures together and they're all dressed up nice. And Jason's the only one that shows up alone because he wouldn't ask Trini out on a date because he's being dumb. I did appreciate that Bulk,
all 4 of these issues.
Yes, Bulk and Skull have goth girlfriends. I thought that was kind of funny.
As they should.
I appreciated it a lot. It's cute. Like what I thought it was really cute. I mean, everything with this. It's just I just really enjoyed this. I'm like, I didn't think I would care about Rangers having homecoming dance, and I did.
You also have, which kind of goes a little bit later on, but if it's me jumping ahead a little bit, but it's whatever. I am a fan of like Bulk, at least, but then being like, hey Bulk, fuck you, you're not gonna win Homecoming King. If you do, I'm gonna fucking ruin your dates. And I at least have, and he at least has the common decency to be like, you know what, I am gonna fucking drop out because it's pretty fucked up. But I hate that they backpedal on them for it later on, where they're like, oh, so what, you just think we can't handle a little bit of teasing? Fuck you guys. You should have told them to fuck off anyways. But it's like, at least appreciate that they're doing something nice.
Yeah, I mean, I found it amusing as a Carrie reference. Essentially what it was. Like,
Bulk and Skull could just never get ahead, at least at this time period.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's supposed to be.
Because they try, but it doesn't work out very well. It's sad. It's sad that those women just threaten them and then he just gives in. Like, it was kind of a bummer because...
Probably feeds the notion also of why they tend to be more assholes towards the world and society as a whole.
Yeah. And the girl's like, you didn't have to do that. Like, we can handle it. Like, we can handle ourselves.
I do at least also think it's interesting that we have, which I didn't see coming, the fake Matt being like, hey, I need to like tell you something. It's really important though. There's no time.
And then when the real Matt burst into the door and says, I've been kidnapped by aliens on the moon. And
looking
Jason,
like absolute shit, probably smells like shit.
Yeah. And Jason morphs right in front of the fake Matt. He's like, he just morphs right from him. He's like, fuck you. It's time to murder you.
Well, he knows that he already knows who they are.
Yeah, but should you really still morph right in front of the guy?
He already knows.
I like how pissed Kimberly is in this, where he's like, I was trying to tell you should just shoot him with an arrow. I really love that.
It makes me sad, though.
It does. But she was lied to. Like, she thought it was her boyfriend, and, like, how she maybe slept with him and we didn't see. Like, so I get it that she's like, you know what? I'm just going to shoot you with a fucking arrow.
I don't remember the show very well. Did she fucking shoot real arrows in the show? I don't.
As far as I remember, I remember them being kind of arrows like that. Yeah.
Was that in the budget?
I guess. Yeah. I mean,
I don't remember anything.
Yeah, they look like arrows to me. I mean, I've looked them up so I can paint my little minifigs and shit. So
okay. And then the last scene of this comic is giant putty monster. It does look cool though.
One of the faces almost looked like the Violator from Spawn.
I sort of get that reference. I've never read Spawn or even remember Spawn really well.
That big ass monster that the clown turns into, if you remember that.
Not really. I've never cared for Spawn.
It was cool as hell in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I bought some toys. I know that. I never read any books or cared about Spawn. I just know I had toys.
I started reading the comics, but then I got just way too distracted with other shit.
There's a lot of comics. I'm pretty sure Spawn has a lot of shit if you were to really like dig into that mess.
Still going.
Oh yeah, Spawn doesn't interest me. But then it brings us to issue 8, which this cover is okay. You have a fake Zord on the cover, and then in his reflection of the blade, you see the real Megazord.
Oh, but at the bottom it says Shattered Grid Prelude. Oh,
I was really confused because I'm like, well, this takes place before the other stuff. So how are you going to tie this in?
Dun, dun, dun.
It's really just a last page that I want to buy this issue now. By the way, like, I want this physical issue for reasons.
I guess you're going to cover that later.
Yes. At the end of this issue, I will. And this issue starts off just like the other ones had, with the first page being 10,000 years ago again, and it kind of shows how Goldar becomes her number 2. How she tells how she killed the Minotaur guy, and now he, cuts his hand and says, "I serve you only," or something. I think it's good, like, to kind of just show how, she has, why he's loyal to her. I thought that was fine. But like when it kicks back to present day, when you see them fighting that putty monster, and it just looks fucking like it looks terrifying, which you don't normally say about putties. They normally look goofy and stupid, and this don't look stupid. What do you guys think of it?
Super Mario Brothers 2 mask that I sent in Facebook. That's what I think about it.
It does kind of have that look to it. Just like I do like how this putty morphs into the other ranger. Like it morphs into Zack, hits him with his helmet, morphs into Trini, morphs into Jason. Like it's cool and then eventually you do see the female form that we saw earlier. And
I thought this fight was really interesting, and almost like a horror element to it.
Yeah, it does. Again, not what I expected.
I like how in this one they kind of tie everything in full circle. The training that Jason and Trini do, and they try to implement it, whether it works or not. And then obviously later on, when we get into the Zords, they kind of cover it there too. I like how they kind of come full circle back with everything.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. And I appreciate the putties, like, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to work for Rita. Like, and then I thought that was good.
Yeah,
but that pentagram on his belt too.
That's cool.
I didn't notice that till now.
I do also like that the putties also, like, you guys just need to like stand down and just not so much evil, but like you guys need to stand down because the last thing I want to do is have you guys get hurt, which also kind of shows that like, oh, it's a peepo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the putty was having feelings for the humans because it was around the humans. It doesn't have a reason to hate them. It was just created to want to kill them, but it doesn't hate them. It didn't do anything to it. It has no reason to hate, to be angry at them. It's just, she's terrible.
So this goes into a really dumb thing I kind of hate, where it's like, I know, because like the whole point of this is obviously like kind of a prequel. Honestly, I should really go and like watch Power Rangers 1, the first episode, because I believe like the first episodes of Power Rangers, they're already Rangers. Like,
I don't think so, but
in the very first episode, no, I don't think so.
Okay,
I think like they become them during that episode, but not initially.
Okay, because they do it in Star Wars, and that's where I'm getting at, where it's a whole thing where like obviously this putty grows a consciousness and whatever, and Rita does the thing that we all expect her to do, which is Finster, putties are going to be stupid now, and that's why they're stupid in the show. And it's kind of like the whole concept of, oh, did you know in Star Wars they revealed there was a whole blaster factory where the sights were fucked up, and that's why no one can hit shit in episode like 4 to 6. And it's like, I don't need that.
I don't think that's true, is it? Is that actually somewhere in the canon?
The canon? No, that's funny as hell if they did that.
Yeah, that's somewhere in the canon, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay, I did not know that, and I feel pretty adept to Star Wars. That's pretty funny, though. I mean, I do like how this leads to her making a comment to Finster at the end of this whole thing, where she tells him no more smart putties, make them stupid and powerful, because this putty essentially turns against her, and then she has to take him over and then has him turn into a giant Megazord. Which, I mean, I think it's cool that it's Megazord versus Megazord, and he's like, I know all your moves, I know how you fight, like, you can't beat me. I think all that's really good. He's not wrong either, so.
And who knows how far that would have drug out if he didn't, like, practically kill himself or let himself be taken over.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only reason they beat him is because they switched. I do like how they switched all the little Zords, and they beat him that way by using all their specialties.
Well, yeah, but by then, Rita, figured if she took over, she took control of him.
Yeah.
But before then, who knows where that would have went if he would have like maybe he just would have ran away and like hid or something. Who knows how that would have went.
Yeah, we don't know what would have happened. I would like to see more. I would have liked to see what if he would have just ran off somewhere and just been like existing, and that thread could someday come back. So
I would have been open to it.
As far as I know, this is the end of Matt. So as far as I'm aware.
But they see him at school.
Oh yeah, the real Matt. Oh yeah, good point. Never mind. Only the fake Matt's gone.
Yeah, the fake Matt's gone.
Yeah, with the real Matt. Okay. I'll be curious to see where it eventually goes with the real Matt. So they blow up the Zord, the fake Zord, the putty thing. They kill it, and then Billy's gonna stay on the team. Rita gets mad at Finster. You have Skull and Bulk lose their girlfriends, but they have each other. Jason tells Trini, Trini's like, it's okay. I don't actually have feelings for you.
And we'll never.
Yeah, she shot that shit down.
And we'll never talk about it ever again.
This oblivious dumbass Jason. So disappointed with him in these 4 issues.
Yeah, he kind of becomes a dick like halfway through this.
You have
Honestly, like with out of all the Rangers in this smaller arc, Jason typically is my favorite. Definitely was not during these 4.
yeah, no, he's kind of dumb.
He kind of redeems himself here when he's talking to Billy and like not pulling any punches when he says like, "Man, we might have been just like actually fucking dead if you didn't figure that out. Like we owe it all to you." And he's giving all the credit to where it's due, you know.
Which is nice to see because they would have been dead, so they wouldn't have survived that. And you have where Billy ends up telling his father how he doesn't want to go to that company. I do like this real scene where Matt is terrified in his house when they go to visit his parents, and he's just hiding upstairs with a blanket on himself. Like, yeah, that's real.
That would happen. I mean, it's severe PTSD. Yeah, you know, aliens are real at this point, but to be face to face with them, be held captive, you almost ate up fucking eyeballs. Like somebody pretended to be you and live your life. Like, what is there to not be shook up about?
Yeah, you're not going to be okay. So I was like, this is cool to see. And I guess the last thing is Zach talking to Kimberly about how she's like, what does she say? Oh, we're about like, yeah, the key is to pick your spot, stay focused. That way, if a distraction tries to knock you down, you don't even notice. And he thinks she's talking about gymnastics when she's talking about a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cool. And the very last scene, the only part that connects to Shattered Grid is you see a pink hand getting a crystal from a Finster dressed up as Alpha 5 in the Coinless world, and it's the Ranger Slayer girl.
That is not a dress up.
So
For future reference.
He is Alpha in this world?
So it's kind of a combination.
Okay.
I fucking hate myself. So I have this fucking Pink Ranger statue. I put it in a picture that I just sent y'all on a messenger. That statue looks at me in the fucking face every fucking day. I just realized while reading this, fucking Ranger Slayer's fucking bow is 2 fucking dark evil sword, and I didn't put that together until like a week ago, and I went, God fucking damn it!
I never noticed that till just now, but I do not have a toy sitting in my figure. I actually regret I didn't buy the Funko Pop of Ranger Slayer. Now I want it, and I want her to sign it. But she has not come to a convention here in years.
A lot of them try not to.
So I guess they don't want to come to Minnesota either. So a lot of the other Rangers have come here. The Red Ranger did. Me and Rich met him. I mean, the Blue Ranger came. I met him. The Black Ranger's come multiple times. I haven't met him yet, but I should. I mean, Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank came to the same convention. So
Amy Jo Johnson, I know might be busy because I know she was writing a spinoff.
Yeah, that's done though.
Yeah, but I also know she's filed for bankruptcy like twice. So.
Oh damn! I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
Well, then she needs the cons. Then get her ass up there.
So yeah. Now she might be helping finishing that movie that's still supposed to come out this year, even though we have like a month left.
That movie, there's no way that movie's coming out this year. How are they still struggling with that? Isn't it all filmed?
It was. They got
the fake Power Ranger movie.
Oh
White Dragon.
Yeah, it's definitely not coming out this year.
It's done. It's been aired. Like it was showed off at like a convention. I know they had to stop filming because of COVID, and then something else happened, and then they had to do a bunch of reshoots, and then Jason David Frank died, so that also had issues. So I don't know.
There's no way it's coming out though anytime too soon. But yeah, and this is technically the first appearance of Ranger Slayer, so I want this book now. I like first appearance as a character, so.
Get used to seeing a lot of her.
I know it's coming. And the next thing you will hear us talk about is we finally get to read Shattered Grid. I cannot wait. I'm so excited to read Shattered Grid. But any last things you want to say about Volume 2 before we go to Shelf Stacker Box?
No, not really.
Oh, we'll just go to Shelf Stacker Box. I'll go first. I'm going to put this in the shelf. I went into this volume with also low expectations and left completely surprised how much I care about seeing the Rangers in their first year as Rangers, and seeing all the high school drama. I want more. I look forward to reading 30 more issues, or not 30 more, but 20 some more issues of Go-Go. I actually look forward to it. Did not expect that. And Joe.
I'm also putting it on the shelf. Honestly, I don't think there is anything that I don't like about this series so far. And I'm very excited to see where this goes. Are we continuing on with Go-Go? Is Go-Go go into Shattered Grid, or is Shattered Grid a completely different thing?
No, Go-Go is going to be a combination of Mighty Morphin and Go-Go for Shattered Grid.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of issues.
They do merge together.
So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to happen, how that's going to work, but yes. So, there's a bunch of issues to read. And Rich?
Man, shelve it as usual. Good stuff. Again, I don't know how the hell Boom pulled it off for me to actually enjoy a teen drama. Fucking standing ovation for them to pull that off. Shelf, man. That's all I can say.
Okay. You know, it's funny. When we started this, I did not expect there to be this much good reading. Did not expect that at all. And the next episode people hear with us, when we do talk about Shattered Grid, will be like the 3-hour episode or so, because there's a lot of issues. So, yeah, I think we should just go to plugs then. So, if you enjoyed this episode, over 700 other episodes of this podcast, you want to hear the rest of our Power Rangers content, everything will be in the show notes. We have done all the comics up to this point, so if you just randomly clicked on this one, go listen to the other ones too if you want to, and hear what we have to say about Power Rangers as we get into this just awesome series. And we do movies, comics, TV shows, all sorts of content. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. For little dog, you vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls every month, so definitely go do that. Support the show. Make me happy. If you want to be on the show, if you want to talk with us, if you want to suggest things for the show, please join our Discord. That is free. Always happy new people join us and chat with us, suggest things. Be on, after I put openings for the show. So if you want to, so please do that. And I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Elena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram if you go check her out. And please take a look at Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker too. He does some great content. Definitely go support his show too. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, TikTok. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Nara.